Hello to everyone out there and welcome to my channel. Today we are on day 3 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge by Ethony. And our prompt for today was the top 5 Oracle decks of 2019. So yesterday we had the top 5 Tarot, now we are on to the top 5 Oracle decks. And there are guys out there that only work with tarot or nearly only work with tarot and don't like oracle decks so much. And there are guys out there who really like a good mix of both, and I am one of those. So I maybe even have more oracle decks in my collection than I have tarot because I'm more open to oracle decks than I am with tarot decks, because with tarot I have a I have an expectation um how the different cards are depicted. I'm more open with some of them and not very open with some of my favorite cards. So that is, and then there has to be something special about this deck, because when it's only another tarot deck, then why should I buy it? Because I have a lot of tarot decks. So it was really hard for me to come up with my top 5 on Oracle, because as I mentioned, as I already said, I have, I really have more Oracle decks even in my collection than I have tarot. So to choose only 5 of them, it was challenging, but I think I did make a good decision. And there are decks in here that are very popular and well known, and then there are other decks that are not so popular. Even German decks, because I live in Germany, I have the possibility to um, by German decks as well. And there are 2 of them in here as well. One of them is in English and in German. So if you're interested in this, even if you don't speak or understand German, you can work with this. One of them is only in German, but I'm not sure if there is an English version out there of this. I think it has to be in some ways, but I'm not sure about it. So let's start. The first deck that I want to mention is a very popular deck, a very well-known deck, and it is an English deck. It's the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits Oracle cards. And I just love these. As I mentioned in my tarot top 5 tarot video yesterday, I love to work with animals. I love animal depictions. I love animal arts. I love animals in general in real life. But with tarot decks that are depicting just one animal for each card, I tend to read the animal energy more than the tarot meaning. And this deck is an oracle, so I really can read the animal energy, and the animal is in the focus, and there's no other layer on that. This deck has a lot of cards, I think. So you have really a variety of animals. You also have them in the suits, in the element suits. So you have the 4 elements plus spirit. There's also a system which ranks them in the elemental suit. And as you can see, I did write on those white borders the keywords for these. So here you have the general headlining keywords, then you have the upright keywords and the reversed meanings down on the card there. Um, It doesn't distract me to read the cards intuitively because I think Kim Krans' artwork is amazing. I love her use of the colors, of the watercolors, and how she manages to use them and blend them in the background. And there's always a message coming through just because of the colors that you see in the background and how they interact and how they give a specific energy to the card and to additional to the energy of the animal itself. And also what I found very interesting is oftentimes, when you pick two or more cards of these, it is very interesting to look at how those colors in the background work together in those different cards. And you can get a really interesting message out of that. So, when you have, for example, these two, you have those it nearly looks as a full moon, but you have those colors in those round circle behind the unicorn, and here you have those colors in the head of the octopus. So you can really go in there and say, okay, um, most of the image is black, but this unicorn here brings light and colors and those energy of the moon and those magic of the colors in your life and opens your mind up, brings you new ideas or something like that. Well, I'm not channeling now, but I wanted to give you an example of how this color thing in Kim Kran's artwork works in this deck and how it gives, for me at least, an additional layer to the animal meanings. Besides, her artwork is just gorgeous. I mean, come on. Okay, so enough rambling about this deck. I love this deck. This is my favorite animal deck so far. I have another animal deck on my wish list, which works also with watercolor, and the images look gorgeous, and I can't wait to buy it. And when I have this in my collection, I am curious to which one I am drawn to more, or which I like more, or if I like them both equally. But maybe they have two different energies, I don't know. But this is one of my favorite animal decks, definitely. I love those. So, this is that. Now we come to another popular English oracle deck, and this is the Halloween Oracle by Stacey Demarco. And normally I'm not a huge Halloween fan in the sense of celebrating Halloween and get all those costumes on and walking through the streets and stuff like that. Um, and that's partly because here in Germany, I hate this, Claire. Here in Germany, we don't celebrate Halloween as much. I grew up without celebrating Halloween because it is nowadays, at least, more a celebration and a tradition in the United States, for example, not here in Germany as much. Also, I know that Halloween or celebrating the dead is not only just Halloween, but there are other celebrations of the dead in other traditions in other countries. Um, and I know that Halloween itself wasn't a tradition or didn't originate in the United States, but actually, I think even here in Europe. So, but now it's mostly in the United States and such, and not really much here. But I love the idea of celebrating and honoring death itself, and also the ancestors, the dead people, lifting the veil, portal energy, which is up high. And I found that when on these days, so the 31st of October and the 1st of November, there is a special energy in the air. Maybe it's because a lot of people believe in Halloween and that the veil is more open, or it's because it is really the case, that there is a special energy, and I love reading cards around this time. So, and I also lay out my year ahead spread in the night, in the Halloween night, because I love this energy. So my year ahead spread starts in November and ends in October. And this deck, I was not sure if I'm going to like it, because mainly I am not a very I'm not Halloween obsessed. And normally collage and digital art isn't my thing, but this deck, it works beautifully. It gives you very clear messages. I also love this eternal love card. I mean, come on. What is it's depicting love? I mean, if this isn't true love and deep love with those two, what else is? When you're still holding hands and laying together and can't let go of each other, even if you're in that skeleton state, I mean, that is true love. And it really gives you the messages you need to hear. It is very clear, and very direct, and it's very fitting. And I really can connect with this deck, which is a surprise for me because, as I said, I'm not a Halloween fan. I'm not a fan of digital art, but this art and these keywords and the guidebook is also written very great. Good messages in there as well. Um, so this is a surprise for me that I like this deck so much, that it's in my top 5 actually, but it really deserves this spot. It really works wonderful, for me at least. So those are the two English speaking mass market very popular decks. Now we go into another English speaking deck, but this deck is independent published. You can get this on Make Your Playing Cards, I believe. And I didn't know about this deck until I watched her channel. I think it was because of a pick a card reading or something that I found her channel and I clicked on it and I vibed with her energy and resonated with her reading. And then I found out I watched other videos of her, not only pick a card readings, and she has two channels here on YouTube. Divine Essentials is her one channel where she talks about spirituality and star seeds and a lot of things there. And then she has the Bridget channel where she does mostly pick a card readings and general readings about love, twin flames, and sexual readings as well. And she has a few card decks that she created herself on Make Your Playing Cards. And this one was one of them. And when I first worked with cards and had my first spiritual awakening, I did not know anything about star seeds. And when I heard it because of a card walkthrough or something, I thought, well, sounds not I think I don't resonate with it. And then I found her channel, and I remember on one of her pick a card readings, I chose one pile, and she started to interpret it, and I think, well, that fits really. I really resonate with that. That fits really, really nicely. And then there were starseeds card in that, and she said, well, if you resonate with this, maybe there you are a starseed, or you should that's a reason why that is the case or something, ne? And you should maybe if you resonate with it, look up starseed information. And because I resonated so much with that pile I picked and with those messages besides the starseed thing, I thought, well, maybe you should research starseeds before you judge if you resonate with it or not. And then I researched it with her. She gave a lot of information in the video where she talks about this deck that she produced. And I researched a lot further with other YouTube videos and homepages and such. And I really find this topic interesting, and I really felt drawn to work with these energies. And it was my second awakening, I think, because now a lot of things that I experienced in my spiritual journey and that I feel and feel drawn to make sense finally. So I found all of these very interesting, and then I thought, well, I need a deck that I can explore this more with. And her Starseed Oracle, I think it is called Starseed Oracle. Yes, it's just that it works with the Starseed energies and with the different Starseeds and higher dimensional beings out there. And I felt very drawn to it, and there are not very many. In fact, well, there is a Starseed Oracle coming out on the mass market from the creator of the Moonchild and Starchild Tarot, and the Work Your Light Oracle, I think it is called. But I was more drawn to this. And then I finally bought it, and I read with it and asked some questions about starseeds and about what the energies are that I'm the most resonating with and that I should work with. And it was very fitting, very clear. It was a aha moment for me. So this is a very special deck, and it represents my second awakening. So it's very interesting for me to work with this deck, and I really resonate with it, and I can really connect with it. And I have this piece of a shooting star. This is an actual shooting star that fall down on the earth, this meteorite out of my mineral collection. I have this always with this deck, and I think it fits perfectly for the energy, but also it looks amazing with those backings because it really looks like a shooting star coming down. So this is that. Well, that is only something if you resonate with a starseed energy or if you're interested in it. And I know that Starseeds is a topic that either you go very well with or you don't resonate with and you don't like working with it or you don't want to work with it. Um, so it's a special thing if you want to work with it. So now up to my two German decks. This is a lot. Actually, I'm cheating here because these are two oracle decks in one mixed in. Because there is um, a first part of this oracle, and then the publisher came out with the second um, expansion pack, so to say, for this oracle, and I love to have both mixed in and see what's coming through. Um, this is mostly a love oracle. So you have oracle cards in here that are themed about love questions and love topics. And because I love this so much is that you get really um, detailed messages, and you can really look at a love situation um, very more detailed, and you have very more a lot of meanings for love that you maybe don't get from a tarot or Lenormand deck, which is fitted for everything. And I'm not saying that you can't read for love with tarot and Lenormand. I do it a lot as well. But then you pull one of these cards or a few of these cards, and you get really the clarifying addition to the Lenormand and Tarot, or even something further than the Lenormand and Tarot cards gave you. So if you do a lot of love readings, this would be a good thing to work with. I have to say, these are the story cards, Claire story cards, and there is Claire story cards 1 and 2. I bought the Claire's emotions cards from the same creator. This was the first love oracle that she put out. Then there was the Claire story cards 1. But the cards in the emotions cards, which are these with the white borders, and the story cards, which are these with the purpley borders, in the first story cards are nearly the same. There are 5 more, I think, in the story cards than in the emotion cards. And the images are different. So I bought this one because this was a little bit cheaper than the story cards first. But the second expansion pack for the story cards wasn't published for the emotions cards, but just for the story cards. So that's why you have those different borders and different backs. If you buy the story cards, the first and the second, then the backs and the borders are the same, except for that you don't have the 2 on the first thing. But because I had the emotions cards already, I didn't want to buy these story cards, the first pack, so to say. I know that that is a little bit confusing maybe, but you can see it on her website what I mean. So, but they work beautifully together as well. If you don't mind the little bit different aesthetic because of the different borders and the different bags, then so I will do a walkthrough of both of these decks on my channel because I think the German independent publisher for this, she also ships to the United States, when I'm correct. So you can order that on her homepage, and you don't need to create a customer account or something. You can just order it, give the information once, and order it. And because she ships to the United States, and there are even the English words on there, keywords on there as well, the English translation, you can even work with this. So for all of you who do a lot of love readings, as myself, love is the most often asked topic on here in Germany for card readings. So I found this very useful. So you will see what the cards are in here in my walkthroughs, but just to get you a look of those. So here we have quiet and peaceful energy. Then we have the seasons in here too. So we have autumn, summer, spring, and winter. You can use those as time meanings or as the meanings for the season. So autumn would be you get what you sow. Um, Spring would be flirty energy. Then we have karma card in here, justice, trust. I love those. This image. Divorce. So it's not only every card a happy message and rainbows, butterflies, unicorns. There are also the difficult topics in here which you need to work on, or something like a divorce. So you can really use this as it really reads like a Lenormand, so you can really do a 9 spread with this and see what cards are falling and how they interact with each other, because they're really direct obsession. It's not very deep like tarot, it's more like quick, direct, practical answers like Lenormand. Remorse. And it is really balanced with shadow and light. You have hopelessness, decision, Queen. So I will do a walkthrough of those definitely, because they're one of my workhorse decks, especially for love readings. And so that you can see this, because there are not a lot of videos out there on those decks. So this is my fourth, and then because I said I do a lot of love readings on my German YouTube channel, because that is the most interesting topic for those who watch card readings here in Germany. I have my story and emotions cards, which I showed you, and then I found this deck. And this is heart shaped, and I love this because it really looks nice when you lay out the heart cards for a pick a card reading or something. And it really gives you a final closure message for a love reading. This is called Liebesorakel, Amors Botschaften, so translated Love Oracle, Amors Messages. And the cards are heart shaped, and they are oriented on love readings, but I found that you really can use those as well for other topics. And you have Toni Carmine Salerno's artwork on those, and then you have a headline or keyword and a little message. So these are in Germany, so there's no guidebook with them, because you have the message on the card, but these are in German. I don't know if there is an English version out there. I think there has to be some kind, because Toni Carmine Salerno does English speaking oracle decks with his artwork, but I don't know if this is really the case with this deck. But I love those cards. I love those messages. I love his artwork. I love that they're heart shaped. And I really use those for every love reading, to close the reading, to get a final message, to sum up the message. I just love his artwork, or her artwork. I'm not sure if Toni Carmine Salerno is a he or she. Well, yeah, so that is this oracle. But I also used this oracle for a reading that I did on my German channel for Christmas, for what gift are you about to receive from the universe as a Christmas present. And this not only was love related, but there was all topics in there. And I found that this also worked with other topics than just love. Then there were two parts where it wasn't love, but it was other topics, and it worked really well with those topics as well. So this is that. So these are my top 5 oracle cards. As I said, I will do a walkthrough of all of the cards in my collection, I think, or of most of them, as time passes on this channel. So keep looking for those to come if you're interested in one of them. If you have any questions or you have the decks and you work with them too, let me know in the comments what your experience is or what you find interesting of those 5. Also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos that are coming. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye.